All right. Well, chat. Quick introduction. If you guys are just tuning in, we got the one and only West up here, and we got Sec over there. These two guys are kind of like brothers to me, from different parts of the country, but yeah, really good friends of mine. And if you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit, Sec first, because you're on to the left.
Zach first.
Yeah.
Okay. Solid. My name is Zach. I just woke up like a half an hour ago. I was supposed to wake up 4 hours ago. Well, who am I? Oh no. Hold on. Okay, who am I? Who am I? Zach,
Also, mods,
Zach.
can you keep a track of shoutouts as well as we go?
All right, here we go.
Do it.
My name is Zach, Zach_Co on social media. I'm known for my voice, apparently, so that's who I'm the voice guy, and I've wanted to do social media stuff like YouTube since I was like 13 years old. My Twitch account's like 7 years old now, and I've just been streaming for like the past 3 years, and that's just been what I've been doing. And this year I'm going to try to take it to another level and do YouTube and TikTok and all the other stuff at the same time, and like stream every day, and that's the goal. So we out here trying to make content. That's me. I'm the content voice. I'm just the content voice guy. It's me.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, a quick shout out.
Good.
Seg himself, go check him out on all the different social medias. And as you heard, Sag_KO around the world, basically. Known as the radio voice himself. Alright, so we got the one and only West up here as well.
Hello there.
Let's get a quick introduction of him as well.
Oh wow. What do I do? I'm not actually sure. No, I'm West. Guess I'm famous for not streaming as often as I should. Uni student.
Musician.
I don't know. I'm not very interesting.
You're also a musician and singer, dude. Come on. Yeah, you can see his instruments in the back there.
Fuck.
All right.
It's all inverted.
Well,
Here's
guys,
music.
I do have a few questions set up already for you guys, and I think we should go in turn. So I'm gonna ask one first, and then the other one after the same question, basically. See if there's different responses. And all right, well, we're gonna start with Sag, of course. What's the biggest challenge you have in the specific career that you're going through right now, Twitch or IRL? It doesn't matter which one you choose. And how are you going to overcome it?
The biggest challenge, and how am I going to overcome it?
Yes.
It's a fantastic question.
What is the answer?
Let me see. I'm gonna just keep on doing what I've been doing.
Oh, real shit.
Okay. My brain is still just. All right, here we go. I'm nervous. What can I say? I'm so sorry. I'm nervous. All right. Well, Twitch online stuff is pretty much the only career I've had for like the past 2 years. I had like part-time jobs the first year I was streaming, but streaming's been the main thing for the past 2 years. The only thing I've been doing. But as far as like struggles with it, I mean, you never really know what each month is going to bring you. It could be like growth. It could be lack of growth. Like you could go down in growth or whatever. And like as far as like doing it as a career like I do, where I pay all my bills and stuff like that from it, you never really know each month to month, like what your quote unquote income is going to look like, right? So you never really know. For me, I feel like I'm in a position where I kind of know, like, I'll at least be able to pay my bills, but I don't necessarily know, like, am I going to be able to go do stuff? Am I going to be able to, like, splurge a little bit on groceries this month or whatever? So that's, like, the biggest struggle, is just, like, not feeling like I've got a really good safety net or, like, level of security with it. And I think one big thing, like, how to solve that for me is, like, since March of last year when the pandemic first started, my like hours in streaming went down drastically. I was streaming like 180 to 200 hours a month, and then it went down to like 70, 50, 60, somewhere in there. And like that's hardly even a part-time job. Like I was streaming maybe 10 to 20 hours a week. And so I think this year the goal is to stream, 40 hours a week basically, and then also be getting content out on like YouTube, so offline content, which is something I struggled with a lot over the past couple of years. So essentially I'll be getting stuff up on YouTube and TikTok and just like trying to get my name out there in different ways, and like, trying to interact on Twitter and stuff like that. So in order to solve that struggle of like quote unquote growth and stuff like that, and feeling a little insecure about, the security of the quote unquote job that I have, is to, basically make sure I'm putting in the effort and the work, and, trying to get more content out there in all different avenues, try and diversify what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that way I'm not like dependent on just one thing, basically.
Yeah. Sounds like you got everything in place for sure. And like, if you could give any kind of tip around like I know you talked about you're pushing real good for this year, with all the social platforms and stuff. What is your number one tip for everyone, if you give one, for growth?
For growth?
Yeah.
Like on social media?
Yeah.
I think the number one thing really is just that like you've got to be enjoying what you're doing. And I know that sounds silly, but I think a lot of times what happens is people get really focused, and like I'm no different, but like I think people get really focused on the growth, or different aspects of it, and it kind of takes your enjoyment away from doing it. So right back before March, when I was streaming, I was just having a good time, and I was just like, I was just streaming to show up, hang out with people on stream, have a good time, and I'd end up streaming for like 8+ hours a stream, and I was excited for the next day when I would get to go live again, and just having a good time with it. And then right around March, when the pandemic stuff happened and all this other stress came up, I was just like, I started to focus too much on different aspects, like viewer count and everything else, and I'm like, and it started to take the enjoyment away from it. And I think the important thing is to really make sure that you're gearing yourself towards doing it because you like to do it, and not doing it because you have some like other goal, like whether that be to grow a certain number or something like that. And then the growth will just kind of come with that. So as long as you're focused on having a good time and making good content, that's like the real big thing. Is if you're making entertaining content, people will show up. So just have a good time, try to be as entertaining as possible, and then people will show up. I mean, the other thing you could talk about is like doing stuff like this, like a podcast or whatever, where you are, making friends with other creators and just interacting and having a good time. That's really doing the making good content thing, making entertaining content. But, just hanging out with other creators is also an amazing way to A, get new ideas, and B, just kind of like collaborate and, all that good stuff. So
basically just like not focus on the numbers is your biggest like go-to.
I think so.
Yeah.
It seems to me to be the answer is the less you focus on the numbers, ironically, the more numbers you'll get. So
yeah, well, that's really good explanation. I think also on the YouTube side that people are going to be loving the answer of that as well, because this is going on YouTube afterwards, so that my community over there can keep up with it too. Now, West, I'm basically going to ask you the same question to see how you would respond and react to it. So what's the biggest challenge you have with your specific career right now? And that means either Twitch or IRL. How are you going to overcome it?
I mean, I'd probably consider my career at the moment would be, university. Because, that's what I put the most time into. That's what I focus on, and that's my main priority. And then Twitch is just this thing that I've kind of discovered, and, whenever I have time, I can do it on the side. But at least for now, it's not something that I have been considering trying to do full time. So yeah, I'd definitely say, at least in my view, uni is what I would like consider my career at the moment. Like my specific field. And I think the biggest challenge is easily just like having the dedication and motivation to keep going, because it sucks. Like you pick something you enjoy and find interesting, and obviously you have this innate motivation to complete it because you started it, but at the same time, if you go into a field and you have no interest whatsoever and you just don't have the motivation to actually put the time in, you're not gonna get anywhere.
So I know you do climbing as well, though.
I did what?
You do climbing as well, as far as I know?
Oh yeah. I mean that's a hobby, just a way to stay fit and get out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a way to sort of get a break from whatever else I'm doing. I think that's why I kind of got so caught up in it, because whenever I'm actually there, that's like one of the few times where it feels like you're not really thinking about anything else. You're just there doing whatever you're doing.
Do you consider climbing as one of your overcome abilities? Kind of like where you can like cooperate with a lot of other things. If you do a session of climbing, do you feel more relieved afterwards?
Yeah, definitely. Because I like, as much as it is a mental break from everything else, it's weirdly like meditative in the same way as some people go out running and they use that to sort of work through stuff. I think it has kind of turned into a similar thing, where it's like, maybe it's just the feeling of working out and feeling good about yourself and making physical progress, so that when you come home and you feel like you've put in good effort, you're like, just your state of mind is slightly better, and maybe that's what you need to move forward with whatever you're doing.
Of course. Yeah.
Because I definitely have that. You sit at home and you're trying to do something and you just can't seem to work through it, but once you actually get that break and you get to move and put some physical work in, you tend to feel so much better when you give it another go.
Oh yeah, for sure. So since Zach came up with the whole like he wanted to grow and stuff, I asked him a specific question about how he would tell people like the best way to grow, right? So I'm gonna ask you another thing. What is the best motivation you can give people if they want to achieve something? Like, for an example, with uni and like climbing, for example, you can choose whichever one you wanna like kind of give advice about. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, it's like, what would you say to people who are not motivated? Well, same. Fat move.
The wrong people, man.
Yeah, not the right place. No, but I don't know. It's a hard question to answer.
What about
it's always gonna come and go. Like I've had time periods where all I do is study, and I feel so productive, and I feel like I'm making so much progress, and I like actually feel good about myself. But then I also have times where all I do is study, and I just feel like absolute shit. Or I don't study at all because I can't, like, I don't have the willpower to start,
Yeah.
But I think definitely it's usually the small things, honestly. Because I think when I started, I very much looked at it as one. It was one thing. Like, my entire education was one thing, and I had to do the entire thing in one stretch.
Yeah.
So instead of saying it like, well, this week it's this assignment, That's all I have to focus on.
Mm.
But instead, it would be like, oh yeah, this week it's this assignment, but then there's another assignment next week, and then there's an exam, and I have 2 other classes, and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
So, like, cheesy as it sounds, just one thing at a time, I guess, and just like, I think be happy over the small wins.
Yeah. That's definitely a big good.
'Cause-
That's a big
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Because like, yeah, you can be super perfectionist and be like, oh no, I didn't ace the exam.
Yeah.
This is going awfully. I mean, me personally, I'm like, oh wait, I passed, sick. But it's also things like you're sitting at home doing an assignment and you find a solution to something,
Yeah.
where it's like, yeah, everyone else probably found the same thing, but I fucking found it. You know?
So just be grateful of what you achieve is basically your is a
Yeah, kind
proper
of like
way,
just don't
guess.
undermine your own
Mm.
abilities.
Yeah.
Even though I do that constantly, it's it's something that everyone should probably work on.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
just give yourself credit. If you're doing a uni education, you're probably not doing easy stuff.
Mm.
So just because someone else in your class might be doing it better or being more successful
Yeah.
than you, that doesn't mean you're not,
Yeah,
putting in the work.
exactly. See, we do have a viewer in the chat that does say, yeah, like appreciating the little things in life is
Mhm.
basically what you're out
Exactly.
about. Yeah.
It's kind of, you almost need it just to stay sane.
Mm. Yeah.
Because if all you appreciate is if you ace an exam, you won't get that very often.
See, now I did ask you guys this specific question because I knew it was going to bring up a lot of like subjects in one go. So the next question I think will actually implement underneath the exact same thing, but if you would choose a specific goal, Zach, for an example, because now we're starting with you, what is the biggest achievement that could happen in 2021 for you?
Oh man.
If you could
The
absolutely
biggest
choose.
achievement. What is the biggest achievement that I could accomplish in 2021?
Yeah.
That's the question, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the biggest goal that I've had for a while now is just to try and get partnered on Twitch.
Yeah.
So I would say if anything, if I could achieve anything this year, it would probably be that. Either that or partner on YouTube, which is more about, people watching and stuff like that. So I feel like partner on YouTube is a little bit easier overall.
Oh yeah, for
but
sure.
It's still something I've struggled with tremendously over time. So I would say one of those two things or both. But those are like the big goals this year are like partnership on the platforms that I love making stuff for.
Yeah. That is also a really good goal to get, to be honest. And I'm wishing you the best luck, of course. And I'll be there all the way.
We'll see
Now,
what happens.
yeah. All right, West. Same question goes to you. What is the biggest goal you want to achieve in 2021?
Oh, in 2021.
Yeah. Since we just started it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I would like to not fail classes. Does that count?
I mean, it does
No,
count. I mean,
Yeah. No, but like I don't know. I feel like it takes up so much of my time, and my only goal for so long has been like I just want to get through uni, which has been a struggle. But yeah, I think luckily, at least if everything goes as it should, I have quite a few classes this year that I'm actually like excited about. Which it was a long time since that last happened.
yeah.
Like I'm gonna get to read quantum mechanics,
Damn.
like experimental physics and shit, and like that's interesting to me. So I'm excited for that. But at the same time, I am at the level now where I also have to take very difficult classes that I don't enjoy at all.
Yeah.
Specifically math. So I think I don't know. I guess there's this overall goal of, being happy and staying fit and all that. But I think just the most immediate one would be to just get through those classes that I'm like afraid to start
Okay,
at the
so
moment.
like just the scaredness of it. Do you want to overcome that and just go to
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because,
Mm.
I know they're going to be hard and I know I'm not going to enjoy it. And I know it's not something that I find interesting. So, which makes it, 10 times harder.
Oh
So I
yeah.
think
Oh yeah. For sure.
kind of just thinking about that, I will have to go through that is a bit scary
Yeah.
and a
100%.
bit intimidating. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's really good. I'm hoping you the best as well, and obviously you know
Thank
where
you.
I am if you need any help or anything. I
Mhm.
know I'm not the smartest when it comes to school stuff, but I mean, I'll be
I'll
there
send you my
mentally to
homework.
support you. All right. So the next question is going to be a little bit more fun. There's going to be a little bit more open-minded to the next one. And
Oh boy.
Sag, are you ready?
I'm ready.
If you had
Ah.
$10,000 extra after you pay your bills, what would you use it on and why?
What would I use it on? After bills, $10,000 left over after bills
Yeah, that you can spend on whatever you want.
on anything I want. Well, I'd buy 10,000 fake dollars. I would honestly, that's a good question. I play everything kind of day to day and month to month, so I don't really think about that too often. What would I do with that much money? It's a pretty decent chunk of money. I would say that as far as like my stream goes, I feel like I've got like all the gear that I would want for streaming and for content creation. So maybe I'd buy like a really extra fancy camera, and then because like my current one is half broken. I'm trying to fix it right now, but it's a good camera, the one that I normally use. But I'd probably buy an extra fancy one just so that way I never have to feel like I got to upgrade it down the line. And then like a really fancy lens for it, and then that would only take like like 1,000 of the 10,000. So with the rest of the 9,000, I'd probably invest that in making some cool content. Probably do some Mr. Beast style stuff where I just like give money to smaller streamers and stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
especially smaller streamers that I know and love and support, because I know how hard it can be when you're trying to make content, right? To like kind of get stuff off the ground and really like invest in the content you're trying to make. So I'd probably invest in, like I said, like giving smaller creators money and content stuff. But I
Yeah.
don't know exactly. Maybe I'd drop a couple thousand bombs on people and give a couple $100 here and there to people, and I'll probably just like give a lot of it away, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really know. I've got pretty much everything I could want, so I don't want to, hoard it for myself.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that sounds like a really good thing to spend it on. Also, knowing what you said about smaller streamers having a tough time to continue going at it, having the motivation from the way the stream happens from the start or beginning point, of course, where you don't have as much support. Like, as now I'm just saying, like, as an example, like, I've seen sometimes when you get those hype trains, for an example, they go quite crazy. Like, not many smaller streamers can achieve that, and that's why you're like also a thing that I bet there's a lot of small streamers that also wish they could get to that point. So like you actually getting that money out there to them, if you had the money to do it, would definitely bring up their motivation for like, oh, I can actually achieve stuff if I want to.
Yeah, I think basically use it to like make sure that people are excited about what they're doing, because I see a lot of times it's really easy to get demotivated as a content creator. So
Yeah.
I think using it to just kind of like reignite some people's flame and stuff like that would be probably the best thing to do with it.
For sure.
Otherwise, you know, like I said, I'd probably do some content stuff too. And I don't know, that would probably be some of the silly stuff, like give back to the community of mine as well, right? Like do some of those silly things where it's like, I bet you guys 1,000 gifted subs that I beat this thing by like next week. And then I fail. I'll be like, well, it's a good thing I got this money to
Yeah.
But you know, give a bunch of people subs and stuff like that too. So
Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds like a really good thing. So, yeah. Let's try to throw the question to West and see if he has another thing he wants to use. $10,000 out the bills.
Wow. Man, that's not a small sum of money.
Oh no.
I mean, I think, as most people, I'd probably spend someone on fun stuff. You know, I would probably buy a new cool microphone. I would probably, you know, buy a new camera and like a new monitor or you know, whatever. Fun things that you kind of always want, I guess. And there's always room for upgrade. And I don't know, I've never been the type of person who feels like I need the best of everything. Like I can be quite content, but I also, I don't know, I kind of want to meet the standard, I guess. Like I don't need a $2,000 microphone to sound good, but I also want to sound good, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd probably just mainly upgrade my stuff to begin with. And knowing me, I'd probably spend some on something stupid as well.
Yeah.
I'd probably buy some very niche instrument that I'll only play once because it looked cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But I think, well, I mean, currently, I mean, I have student debt. I have shit like that. So the boring answer is that I'd probably use it to pay that off.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a valid
I know.
option. So
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm far enough into life to like have a good plan of what to do. I'd probably just put it in a savings account or something until like I find something that feels like it's like a worthy thing to spend it on.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right. Well, that's also really good to hear though. Like, student debt is probably one of the most tough ones to get out of. Like 100%, because I have it myself as well that I need to get out of. So I think I would probably be somewhat in the same boat where I would just use some of it on that.
Yeah. It's just the feeling of being in debt and having that loom over you, I reckon can be really hard, especially when it gets to become big sums. I mean, it's not like I have a ton of debt, like compared to a lot of other people, but it's still not something that I can just be like, oh, I'll just pay it off. It'll be fine. Like, it'll still take some time,
Even I can, yeah. But yeah. As I said, like if that's what you are gonna end up like using money on, then there's nothing wrong in that either. Because like then you're out of that like annoying situation of that oh shoot, I actually earn I owe money, right?
Yeah. No, that's what I'm thinking. I've always kind of been like that. Like, I'd much rather just, if I could choose between paying off, say student debt or like buy a new setup, of course I'll pay my debt, because like I don't know. I have no problem with, using whatever like equipment I've got and not having the best of everything, but I hate just having that constant feeling of I need to I'm in debt. Like I'd much rather pay for the boring stuff first.
Debt is literally the worst.
Yeah.
It
I
really
don't think
is.
there's anything worse than that. I feel so fortunate to have no debt right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
like
rid of that as soon as you
the
possibly
community
can.
really helped you out with that one. It was really nice. I was a part of it too. Like the
Yeah.
support you have gotten to actually get it to paid off must have been really, really, really amazing and blessed to be a part of.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When I had that goal up, actually my parents ended up helping me a lot with it because the person that came in and paid off the goal, they were one of those people that donated a huge amount just to charge back later. So those ended up being a troll donos, but it's okay.
Oh, rip.
I kind of expected them to be, so it's no big deal. I finally got an email last week after like 6 months of this that it's finally over. Not to do with it anymore. So, but
so well, the next one is gonna be a little bit more emotional hit, I think. I would say.
shit.
So, Zach, if you would choose an event that happened last year that you would say is your biggest failure of last year, what would that be?
my biggest failure, dude. You're digging deep. You're trying to make me cry.
I told you it might be emotional.
Damn, dog.
Pants, dude.
Damn, dog. You're gonna cry. All right.
Okay. Question: what was my biggest failure of last year?
Yes. Like, what was the thing that made you most uncomfortable in what happened kind of failure?
Oh, man. There's so many to pick from.
There's so many to pick on.
You're asking a guy who is super hard on himself what his biggest failure was. I view almost everything as a failure. So,
Wow.
you got me digging deep here, man.
You need a shovel?
Yeah, honestly. Netherite, please.
Netherite. Okay, I gotcha.
All right, let's. Oh, man. Biggest failure, dude. Oh, what was my biggest failure? Honestly, like from my own personal perspective, I would just say like having slowed down on streaming so much is probably my biggest quote unquote failure because I pride myself a lot on working hard and being dedicated towards putting in effort towards whatever it is that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
And I feel like I didn't really do a good job of representing that last year. I talk about putting the work, if you want something, really push for it.
Oh, yeah.
And then last year, the whole time, I'm like, essentially. Like, at least that's how it felt like, streaming so much less than I had before. It just kind of felt like I was not really representing my mindset properly. So I'd say that's probably like biggest failure for me last year. It's just like a fall from grace, if you will.
So the question also says, the question also says, did you learn from it personally?
Yeah. I feel like I learned from it. I'm still kind of like in it right now, so it's like hard to say if I've really learned from it, but like I feel like I've learned a lot. As far as like my mental attitude towards things and my ability to deal with stress and specifically all the stresses that I feel like kind of cause that. So hopefully I've learned, how to kind of take a deep breath and look at the bigger picture. Cause I think that's probably ultimately what the problem was this year is just like looking at like little things and getting stressed out by like the tiny little things. Me and West have talked about this a lot. Yeah. Like West always brings up, he's like, you're not focusing on the bigger picture. Like I narrow in like on little tiny specifics and get stressed about those things.
Oh yeah.
And so I think I've learned from it, learned to really kind of broaden the perspective a bit and like take a deep breath. So yeah.
It's also nice to have like people like West and I, for an example, that has also been at the same thing as you have with streaming and stuff like that. Being able to hear other people's way of opinions about it, and maybe you'll end up like seeing it from other perspectives and learn from it. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have so many friends and doing the same kind of thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's super helpful. It's easy to like feel like you're alone whenever you're like stressed about something that you feel like other people don't really understand. And so to have people that do understand to talk to is honestly just one of the best things ever. Every time I get to be on a call with someone who's like been through it and I get to like talk to them, ask questions, or just like talk about my situation, and they're able to offer some kind of other perspective is it's honestly just so awesome.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, West, what was your biggest failure of 2020?
Wow. I'm pretty sure I got 5 plus 3 equals 9 at some point. On an assignment. That was really cool. Because apparently I can't do basic math. No, I think I don't know. I think a lot of it has been, it's something that it's kind of hard to look at yourself and be like, feel so bad for myself because like obviously everyone is struggling this year.
Yeah.
But I definitely had a time period where things weren't going as well. There was goal problems, there were motivational issues, and I failed like 3 classes, I think, in a row. Which I don't know. Looking back at it, like yeah, sure, it was a tough time, but
Oh yeah.
That doesn't mean I should just drop everything.
Oh no, of course.
So yeah, like looking back at it, I guess I'm a bit disappointed with myself that I dropped the ball. Like in the long term, I guess it's not that big of an issue because I can just retake it and start over.
100%.
But yeah, I don't know. That was not very happy with that.
Did you learn anything from it? Is the next part of that question.
Oh.
Or did it just slide after?
Oh, it just kind of slid in and like set deep emotional scars. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no learning curve to it at all. It was just a smack in the face.
Okay. We don't learn.
We don't learn.
Like I don't know. I have this idea that I don't know if it's right or not, but I feel like everyone kind of evolves as a person and kind of grows based on what they've been through in life.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I know myself well enough to say that I grew as a person, but I wanna think so at least. Maybe just a little bit of emotional maturity, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. I want to say this to chat real quick. I apologize if frames are dropping. I can see that I lost 7.6% in drop frames. That's crazy. But yeah, that is, I mean, again, like, even if you didn't learn from what happened, you still went through it. It's an experience you went through, and you figured out that that's not an experience you enjoyed very much. So the chance of it happening again is probably like less likely.
Yeah, no, it's definitely motivational. It's one of those things like you're so deep into some shit that by the time you get out, you're like, yeah, I'm not going back.
Yeah,
which can be a big motivation. Also, it lets you hit the whip and nay on the pain. So
whip and nay, yeah. I like that term. All right, so this is like a base topic between the both of you, so this is gonna be a little bit interesting. I don't know how this is gonna work out, but I tried to like implement a question that could kind of come from both perspectives at once, so there could be a little bit of like maybe a discussion in between it.
Or fighting?
No, not like fighting, but more like
baby.
Come on, bitch. Piss, baby.
Well, that's my bad.
Wait, which way am I supposed to?
I gotta look.
Yeah,
No,
you guys,
wait, is it
you guys
this?
gotta look towards each other.
Oh, wait, it's this way. I got you. Hold on. Ready?
Come on, let's go.
Hey,
Round one. Fight.
I'll freaking mess you up, baby. Hey, go. Hey.
All right, so now this can get a little bit heated, worth of the topic that I put into it. So, like, in what terms do you think that Twitch could improve?
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay,
I told you this is gonna be a topic that could be heated if it ends up.
It's easier to say where they don't need to improve. This would be much shorter.
Okay.
I mean, one thing that bothers me in general, and specifically with Twitch, is the thought that you can solve problems that don't need solving instead of actually focusing on big problems. Which might sound a bit out there.
I think I know what you're talking about with the word thing, right? Where they decided to go for words instead of actual racism and stuff that happens around.
Yeah, I feel like Twitch as a platform has had a lot of issues for a long time, where like technical and just overall. And I feel it shouldn't be that difficult to deal with it. Like, it takes time to fix a platform, of course, but why not start trying instead of banning words?
Oh yeah.
Like, control what people say. Like, in a sense, like, everyone's not a grown up on Twitch. I get that, but I feel like people on the internet at some point also have to like fend for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, if they hang out on Twitch, of course they don't deserve harassment or anything like that, but they also have to sort of be able to handle situations with, you know, dickhead people.
Yeah.
Because there's a few of them.
So like,
it feels like some like kindergarten shit.
yeah.
It's like, you can't call each other names because someone will get their feelings hurt. It's like, yeah, you're right. But also, why is this what you're focusing on?
Oh yeah.
Considering all the other shit that's going
also
on.
the fact of like having those friends that are like, I have a lot of friends that like I don't respect racism in any functional way at all. It's stupid. People should stop it. We're the same people, everyone, right? But I have a lot of friends that gets the N-bomb towards them in their channel just because they have a different color in their skin, which in my opinion is just stupid that Twitch doesn't actually freaking put their focus onto that instead of like going for two different words.
Thank God they got rid of the other words.
Oh yeah.
So
So
like, why would you want to? You shouldn't be able to joke with your friends, but racism, yeah, it's fine apparently.
I think
I don't know,
the
it's
ultimate,
just...
like, my biggest issue with Twitch, honestly, is just that, like, it feels like there's certain things that need to be combated, and it's like, it's clear that they, to some extent, understand what needs to be combated, and then they just are like, well, yeah, let's just throw something at the wall that like doesn't do anything just to try to appear like we're taking care of the problem. And let's not actually take care of the problem. So I think that's like the biggest issue, right? Like with banning those certain words, they're like, hey, look, we're fixing sexism. And it's like, no, that's not, banning those words isn't fixing that problem.
That's not what you're doing.
It's putting a bandage on a leaky like water tank in the bottom of a submarine that's at the bottom of the ocean. It's like, it's still going to explode one day. You got to fix the window. You can't just put a band-aid on it and stop the leak. Like, the leak is going to lead to something much, much worse if you don't actually fix the cause of it, and instead you just put a band-aid on it. And I think that's the biggest issue, is that Twitch wants to appear like they're fixing issues that they're not actually fixing. And I think the other big thing is, like Wes said, where they're, you know, I think that they have a terrible delegation of resources on the development side, where, you know, they've got a group of developers that are like, hey, we've got this idea for this new thing we could implement. And Twitch is like, go for it. And then meanwhile, they're having like this copyright issue, and they're having sexism issues and racist issues and homophobia issues and all these different kind of issues that need some kind of development focus. But they're focusing all their development resources on like how to make more money instead. And to some extent, I can understand from a business perspective where they're coming from, because it's like, if they can make more money, they can hire more developers to work on the harder issues potentially. But it's like, you have a platform full of people, and if you don't focus on the real issues, then the people that are making you that money are going to leave, and then you're not going to have the money anyway to do that. So you should probably focus on the real issues first, and then you can focus on the other stuff later.
Yeah, and that surprised me too, because it was not long ago where we saw like the biggest creators on the platform just leave.
Yeah, that's
Something
true.
else came up that looked good in Mixer, and like, yeah, of course they got paid a fat stack of money, but
they still decided it.
If the platform was everything they wanted, they probably didn't need that money. They left because the platform they were on, like, it was a good offer, but the platform they were already on was deeply flawed.
Yeah.
So why not try, you know?
And like,
I don't know, we were talking about this not too long ago, but the whole copyright thing, where it's like, you see Facebook Gaming, they bought like a blanket license for music, and you can basically play whatever you want.
Oh yeah,
because that benefits the community, you know. But then at the same time, you have a place like Twitch, which is owned by Amazon, which also owns Amazon Music, so they already own a bunch of rights, not directly, but it's not like it's some unachievable thing to them. They're the richest company in the world. Like, I don't see the issue. It just seems like they're trying to max min the profit, but don't realize that sure, they make money now, but the platform will die if they keep doing it.
Yeah,
it seems like a short-term focus and not a long-term focus, at least from a creator standpoint. And like, I brought up that same kind of point that Wes brought up of like Amazon owning other products that could be implemented into Twitch easily. Like Amazon owns Twitch, Amazon owns Prime Music, and I brought this up in the past. It's like, okay, you got a copyright issue, why not try and do some kind of deal with Amazon Prime Music or whatever? Like, if you think that Bezos doesn't have some kind of like ability to, you know, get deals going with companies, that's just ignorant to the position that he's in.
Oh yeah,
it's like, that dude could, if he wanted to, be like, okay, I've got this platform and they've got this music issue. I've also got this music platform. I want my music platform to be successful, and I'd like my streaming platform to be successful. How can I fix this issue? Pretty simple. Try and get the music companies that already have signed some form of rights for you to play it on Amazon Prime Music to you. Get it so that you can, for example, all of your creators start using Prime Music instead of Spotify. Boom. Now you're securing the Spotify, like, market, right? And then once they're playing all their music off Prime Music, because you're allowing them to play Prime Music on their Twitch streams, like, if it's on Prime Music, you can play it on Twitch. That also ties in, because it's like, if your Twitch account and your Amazon account is linked, as it should be if you're a creator, right? Then what they can do is they can basically track what music you're playing through Prime Music. They could force an overlay on, have an extension on of some sort that shows everyone what you're playing, have a link to Amazon Prime Music, and then on top of that, like, they know what music you're playing, so they could automatically divvy royalties from like subs or bits or whatever. Like, no one really wants that. Like, that sucks, but at the same time, like, there is a solution out there that could be like a practical solution that's being worked on, and they could be like, look, we've got this big thing and it all makes perfect sense, here you go. But instead they're like, we made this little soundtrack you can play. It's like, we didn't even pay for the rights for this, but you can play it and you're probably still gonna get copyright claimed. Haha.
Yeah. It seems like they're trying to throw like a glass of water on a house fire.
Exactly, it doesn't work.
Meanwhile, they have a huge tank of water in the back. They just like,
they have like 5 fire trucks. They have 5 fire trucks just standing there, but they're too busy like helping out with a like car wash on the other side of the street. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I fully agree with the both of you on this one. It's just stupid to see, to be honest. But yeah,
It seems
again,
like
I just feel
waste.
like Twitch is taking the easy way out,
Mm,
and then they see how that's gonna impact their community on the page they have. And if they end up getting enough critique, they might change the smallest part about it, and it'll still be an issue. You know.
yeah.
Um.
No, I don't know. I just kind of hope that it. I don't want Twitch to struggle as a platform, but also I feel like there has to be some sort of actual negative like effect for Amazon to go, oh, we're not making money anymore, or we're going the wrong way. We have to do something.
Yeah.
And then they can try to fix it, and they can do the same shit they always do, and then just have it, end up even worse.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think it's probably some like hard to measure in numbers, like how doing what the community wants will help you in the long term.
Oh yeah,
Because-
100%.
Yeah, because to them it's probably like, oh, we make more money right now if we just do this.
Yeah.
But that doesn't account for the fact that a lot of people just end up leaving because it's not, it's not fluent, it's not natural, it's just, yeah.
I definitely feel you on it. And I feel like you both are coming up with some really legit ways of talking about this. And I agree on both sides, because it is stupid that Twitch decides to take the easy way out. As you pointed that out in another way, like putting a glass of water onto a burning house. It's just not the way to go about things if you want a successful website to achieve what essentially people are hoping for it to get to, kind of say, I guess.
Yeah, it feels like they're going for solutions that they can argue are an attempt at fixing it, but in reality, it's just not. It's like it's more designed to look like they're trying to fix it than actually fix it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just stupid.
So I think we definitely covered the topic of this, like what's the worst part right now, and
Oh yes.
I definitely feel like you guys came up with some really good, valid reasons for that. Now moving on to the next question, is it a little bit more of what do you think people fail on the most or give it up on the most when it comes to streaming?
Numbers. Easy. I think they see. I mean, maybe it's because I'm kind of at that point myself, but like, of course, it's demotivating if you see your numbers and they're low, or you see someone else goes live and everyone disappears because they go over there. But at the same time, like, I don't know, in my mind it's kind of something you have to expect, so it's not really that big of a deal. I'm not trying to do this full time either, which also takes a lot of pressure off the situation. But like, I can imagine if you're trying to do this full time and you feel like you're not getting the response and the viewers or followers or whatever that you're hoping for, like, of course you're gonna question yourself.
Yeah. You got any impact on that one, Zach? Or do you think West covered it?
Honestly, like, I agree with West hugely. The question was, what was the biggest thing that you think creators fail on?
And give up, yeah.
Give up on? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's there's a lot of different factors, but yeah, I think West pretty much hit the nail on the head with it. But just to add a little bit, I guess I think a lot of people kind of forget to some extent that, like, we are entertainers, right? Like, we're putting on a show,
yeah,
right? And the people who come and watch are, they're an audience. They're coming to watch an entertaining show.
Yeah.
And so, like, if someone's not there, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's not like a personal attack, right? Like they might just be watching some other form of entertainment at that moment. And you know, the other thing to remember is that this is live content specifically with Twitch. If we're talking specifically Twitch creators, which is like, you know, they're like just today, right now, like January 2nd, Saturday, it's a weekend day. Saturday, 1:30 p.m. There are, you know, if I look at my following list, I've got, I think like 25 different people that I would normally tune into live right now. It's like I can't actively watch all 25 of those people, right? So I think one big thing that people also fail to like keep in mind is like, you know, just because someone's watching someone else doesn't mean that they don't enjoy your content, and it doesn't mean that they wouldn't choose to be there. It's just like they're kind of going through the different people that are live right now because we're all live at the same time. They can only be one place at one time. So they're, you know, checking out all the different people, and, you know, maybe they didn't even notice you were live that day because there's so many other people live too. It's like, it's not a personal attack. It's just, they're just looking for entertainment, and they're going wherever they can find that, right?
Yeah.
So,
do you think people are expecting a lot more from starting than they can chew on?
What do you mean by that?
Do you think people go into streaming with the mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna be a huge streamer within like the first 2 or 3 months? Do you think like people are expecting too much compared to what they can achieve in like that a little amount of time on a platform like this?
I think there is some level of that, where people think like, you know, they see like one person who maybe starts streaming and then like blows up within a couple months, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that too. But it's like, yeah, I think the focus, like what you're focusing on, is definitely probably a big thing that people fail on a lot, right? Like, kind of going back to what you asked me earlier, where I said like, if you want to grow, you should just like focus on enjoying it. And I think, yeah, when your sole focus is just growth or just numbers or just whatever, that's definitely like something that I think a lot of creators fail on, because it's like, A, it takes away the enjoyment, and B, it's kind of this interesting paradox where it's like, because you're focusing so much on trying to be successful or trying to be like this big deal or make a lot of money or whatever, ironically, you're going to end up not doing that because, you know, you're stressed out about it, or, you know, whatever your vision of that success is, if you don't meet that like level of goal or whatever, then you're going to feel like a failure. And it's like, you have just set yourself up for failure. No one told you that you needed to reach X amount of viewers in a certain amount of time. No one told you that you need to make so much money, or that you need to, you know, reach so many followers or whatever. You set that goal in your own mind, and now you've set yourself up for failure. And now in your own mind, you feel like crap because you're like, well, I'm a failure. But it's like, by what definition? It's like, you're not a failure just because you weren't able to achieve, you know, partner status in the first 3 months of like streaming, you know. It's like, nah. It's, yeah, I think it's just people expect a lot from when they start, or even not necessarily when they start. Like, a pit hole that I've fallen into, right, is like, been streaming for a long time. So for some reason, I think that like, it's like the first couple of years I was just like, oh yeah, I'm just having a good time. And then it became real. Like, once it started to become more of like it actually was working as like a career, then I started to focus more on setting all these standards for myself, and then those standards ended up making me feel like a failure, right? So it's like,
relatable for me as well.
Like, it's not just from the start. I think it's at any given point. I think creators just need to remind themselves, like, just have a good time, you know?
Yeah, you've been a streamer for how long now?
My 3 years as affiliate is in March.
How long did you stream before affiliate?
Well, I created my account 7 years ago, but I was started actively streaming in February. And like, affiliate, in order to get affiliate status, you need like 3 viewers and 50 followers. Because I had my account for so long, I already had like, I think it was like 25 followers or something like that. So it's like, I just got my friends to follow me and hang out in my chat for a couple weeks. And so I got the affiliate status pretty quickly. But yeah, I mean, February-ish is when I started streaming.
Yeah.
March is when I got affiliate.
Yeah, so you've
And I've
been
been
at it for a
basically
long
streaming-
time.
Yeah, I've been basically streaming full time since like June, July of 2018 because I had to work like a part-time job over the summer where I like really stopped streaming very much. But yeah, I picked it back up June, July-ish, and I just like went ham with streaming,
Yeah.
just enjoying myself and trying to make something out of it.
Yeah, my 5-year anniversary is coming up in April the 21st this year. So that's also going to be
Very
a
nice.
crazy thing to get into. But yeah. Wes, do you have anything like stream related that you want to talk about your perspective, or do you want to just say like it's going to be whenever it's going to be, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
And thank you for
I
the bits.
think I end up just having a different perspective on it, like naturally, simply because I don't really, at least at the moment, I'm not trying to do it full time.
Mm.
And of course, like as with anyone, like you wanna see people stop by and you wanna see high numbers, like that's inevitable. But I don't know. At the same time, like this really is a hobby.
Yeah.
Like I do this because I enjoy it, but if I don't, just because I don't get the numbers that I want, that doesn't mean I'm gonna be in a tough situation.
Oh no, for sure.
Just because of that. Because like I have periods of like a month or two where I just don't stream once because I have school or something else going on. And I think just that ability to just like I want to do it, but if I need to, I also don't have that big of an issue with putting it aside. So yeah, I think just that in general kind of changes the whole outlook on the problem.
Yeah,
I guess
100%. Well, so your point of view of it at the moment, as you're like, I know you're busy with uni, as you said earlier, and that takes up a lot of your time. And then obviously when you climb as well, that also takes up some of your time to release yourself in a way.
Yep.
So you don't plan on anytime soon going to try to push for a full-time streamer?
I don't know. It's not something that I can't see myself doing it at some point. It's just I don't know. It kind of feels like you're turning a hobby into a career. But like to be able to kind of support that, you also have to have a career to begin with.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I'm doing. Like my main priority has always been my degree.
Yeah.
And I want to finish that off, which it's like, yeah, if I hit the jackpot and blew up or something, like, yeah, that would be cool. Then of course I would seize the opportunity, but I also don't really like mind if nothing like that happens, because if anything, it less of a distraction. So it's like there's pros and cons, I guess.
It's DJ. But yeah, I definitely can agree to that. So Chad, we did get a little bit of a thing there. It is not my internet that's actually crappy right now. It is actually Twitch, because if you click that link, you'll actually see my upload and download are stable at around 100. So it's not that.
Want to talk about Twitch again? We can talk about Twitch.
Yeah, we can talk about how good Twitch are with their shitty servers.
Yeah, they were tweeting the other day about their whole site being like down or something.
Yeah.
Having that issue more.
I've had the issue of where I go into another person's channel and then all of a sudden the Twitch chat just goes try to connect and I can't see anyone online or anything like that. Is stupid.
Yeah.
So, all right, I have another question that's gonna be, I don't know if I would say emotional, but more of a, what can I say? Like in a way of like, what would you motivate yourself to, right? So it says here, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Anything that doesn't have math. I think, honestly, I am so tired of thinking. No, I don't know. I think it depends on if you're trying to like define it as just a job or like an actual something you actually make a career out of.
Mm.
Because like if I could, pick anything, I'd probably do something with music or something like that. But at the same time, like if I could just pick something else to do right now, which is, within some reason like an achievable thing,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I just want to get away from the school scene. I actually have a job right now, which technically hasn't started because we haven't got any snow.
Mm.
But like at a ski resort, just like every other weekend, just renting out skis and all that.
Yeah. To kind of
And I
release
think,
or like
yeah,
climbing.
it's just different. Like
Mm.
I get to go somewhere else. I get to be outside. I get to just, I guess, just kind of like have a job to go to
Yeah.
and something to do that doesn't require me to think about it once I am not at work,
Oh yeah.
because that's what wears you down. Like it doesn't matter if you're on
Excuse
break
me.
or not, you're always stressed.
Mm.
But when you have a job, by the time you get off work, you're free
Yeah.
until next time.
100%. So, Zach, do you have any profession that you would like to be able to do that you don't have already, or attempt? It's some pretty hard questions today,
It is.
but we got to start it out with a banger. So,
I mean, not really. Being a content creator is what I've dreamed of since I was like 10 years old. So in a lot of ways, I'm living that dream already.
yeah,
I would say like, I'd love to see what it's like to be, like I talked about at the beginning of the podcast, more stable with it, where it doesn't feel like every day I'm like, I gotta kind of like fight to keep it alive kind of thing. But on another note, though, something I'd like to pursue in the future, like, when I feel like I've got the time to be able to, take a break or whatever. I've got a passion in creating video and stuff like that, but I'd love to do like bigger productions, maybe write a movie or short film or something along those lines. And,
yeah,
really put together some kind of like really like put together high production piece of content, or something along those lines. That's something I'd be interested in doing. I've done some stuff where I've worked on like production sets and stuff like that,
yeah.
and it's always a pretty good time. So love to like spearhead something like that at some point in the future. Otherwise, I mean, no, like I love what I do. Anything else, I don't really know what else I would do, to be honest. Everything that I do right now is basically what I love, and so like I guess if I was forced to do something different, I would go work for someone else doing basically similar stuff, whether that be like audio production or editing or working on productions as like a guy that sound recording or whatever
Yeah.
it may be. But I'd probably just say I'd be working in the field as a hired talent, if you will, or hired to do the stuff I already do, but just for someone else, basically.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, that's pretty good. That's very nice. I like it. So there's actually only 2 more questions left for you guys, so you are free after that. Actually, no, you're not, because maybe Chad has some things that you want to know as well. But what is the thing that you are not very good at? If you would choose a specific thing that you see yourself in a moment of like, oh shit, I'm actually very bad at this?
Only one?
Yeah, only one. The one that annoys you the absolute most that you're not good at. And I thank you for the bits again.
I don't know. I'm not very good at math, which it keeps coming up.
Yeah.
It's problematic because it's like majority of what I do. So I always get reminded.
Yeah.
Which is tough.
I mean, math is tough.
Like in the same boat where I feel like I'm terrible at the things that I need to be good
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like you'll just, oh no, you can, you know, you're good at this and you're bad at that. It's fine. You'll get by.
Yeah.
No, you won't. You need to be good at this. That's your whole job. It's like, well,
exactly.
See about that. Oops.
But yeah, Zach, is there anything you have on your mind
specific?
that you feel like you're absolutely bad at, but you hate that you're bad at it?
I mean,
is it consistency that's coming back again?
I'll say this because I could be real insecure and talk about feeling like I'm not super good at at certain technical things, but I'll say like I feel like I'm pretty decent at the technical side of stuff when it comes to making content, like as far as like knowing about bitrate and audio and devices and all the different stuff and how they connect and work together. But where I fail, I feel like in a lot of scenarios, or not fail, but like, you know, something that I could be better at, or I don't feel like I'm, you know, amazing at, is like socializing. Like ironically, I'm trying to make like social media into a career, but I don't feel very good at talking to people. I feel very I have like a lot of insecurities, and I just get like anxious talking to people a lot of times, and so yeah, I feel like ironically I've got a shortcoming in that, where I wish I could be better at that. I'm working on it, but you know.
I mean, I'm in the same boat as you though.
Yeah.
Like social anxiety and stuff like that is a big part of my life that keeps me back.
Yeah. Like
I struggle meeting people IRL, talking to them, but like when it's on an online channel, like for an example, when I stream, I just feel free. I feel I can kind of hide away who I am in a way, to the point where I feel comfortable talking to people.
Yeah, I think that's one really good thing about like streaming Twitch is like, if you're someone like us where like you have a bit of social anxiety and stuff like that, like the nice thing to some extent, like there's still that aspect, but like the nice thing is it kind of allows you to like practice socializing in a way that's not as scary, because it's like the people aren't in your room with you like face to face.
Exactly.
So it gives you that kind of like that buffer to kind of
privacy.
Like, you're talking to people and you're having real conversations, but you know it's not as scary, so you get to kind of like practice that and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, I think there's definitely something to that, because I probably see myself as a bit introverted, not necessarily in the way that I don't, you know, like, you know, human interaction, but you know, it can definitely tire me out. And just the sense or the feeling of like, dude, I'm just alone in my room. I don't have to be here if I don't want to. Like if I get tired and I don't want to, you know, be part of the interaction anymore, I can simply just leave.
Yeah, like no issue.
I think that that like it adds a lot of it's like a safety net, I guess. Because obviously in real life, if you go somewhere, you're committed. Like, yeah, you can leave and go home, but it's a bit harder in that sort of situation. But here it's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm tired. I think I've had enough interaction for today. I can just.
See, I envy you for being able to do that. Because, like, if I'm in the middle of something and someone is trying to say something, I would hate leaving because I feel like
Oh, yeah.
shit just
No,
leaving
I-
straight up because I'm tired. Like,
I would never like
Oh.
leave in the middle of a conversation. Just someone's pouring their
Oh,
heart
okay.
out.
Okay,
about
okay,
their
okay.
hardships, and I'm just like, you know what? That's it. I'm done.
I gotta go now.
I think
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'll see you guys
yeah.
later. Peace.
Shut up, I gotta go.
Yeah, you mentioned your really tough childhood, and that sucks. But like, I don't know. I just kind of want to be alone. So
Yeah, see you guys.
no, but like you can kind of, I guess you can kind of control it a bit more yourself.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
you don't have to commit as much to social interaction,
All right,
especially on
so
Twitch, because you can just jump into a chat, say hi, and then be like,
yeah, exactly. It's
actually,
like I'm just gonna lurk.
yeah.
All right, so tell me something that's true. Almost nobody agrees with you on. Do you have a thing deeply inside of you that you've always been like, this is true, no matter what people say?
Yeah, I got one.
All right, go for it.
Spaghetti,
Oh fuck off.
macaroni. You know, they're noodles.
They're not noodles.
I can
can- I
agree
can-
though. Like, to some extent, I can agree to that.
They're not. No. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're having this conversation. Sure. There is a very defined difference between noodles and pasta. All right. I can agree with the argument that spaghetti is noodle shaped. That sure. I agree. But you can't look at a macaroni and say that that's a noodle because it's not. That's not
I
a
don't know, dude. It's an
lasagna.
extruded
Why?
piece of
How is a lasagna a noodle?
Dude, it's extruded, bro. Okay, think about it, bro.
No,
Look, dude,
dude.
you've got the thing that turns into the thing, right, dude? Like you could turn it into spaghetti, like you crank it through the little thing and turn.
No, but they're made differently.
No, dude, they're made
Yes,
the same.
they
You run
are.
it through the
No,
little-
they're not.
dude. Come on, bro. Yes, it is.
No,
you
they're
you put it through
not.
a little extruder, dude.
Nah, dude.
Come on.
No.
It's a
I-
fucking noodle.
I can agree that pasta can be noodle shaped.
Extrudal the noodle.
They always say
Say that.
that all pasta are noodles. It's just blatantly false.
All
It's not a
pasta
thing.
is noodles.
It definitely is not.
Clearly. You got macaroni noodles, spaghetti noodles, rigatoni noodles, mustacholi noodles.
Yeah, and they're not
bow tie
noodle shaped.
noodles.
So, Wes, do you have anything you feel like is right that no one agrees with you on?
Well, it depends. First of all, pasta noodles weren't the same. I've heard specifically from Americans that apparently drinking milk is not a thing.
Yes, it is.
It
Right?
is. We
Thank
do it.
you.
I do it once every
Someone
morning.
agrees.
I drink
Yeah,
a
no,
glass
no,
of
no.
milk every
Fucking drink
morning.
Love milk.
Yes,
Yeah.
Just
it's
give me a
good.
glass of milk and I will down it. But I've heard people who fucking hate that.
Those
Well,
are
the
weird,
chalk-
Oh,
like-
it's just thick
the chalk-
water. No, it's not.
The chalk inside of milk in general is very good for your bones, and
Yeah, it's
in
like take your
general,
bare
like
ass
your
bone
body.
somewhere else.
Yeah, dude, those are some weird like coastal like
yeah,
West Coast people that are like, ew, that's thick water that come from the cow. Everyone that's like in the Midwest or like grows up or like somewhere around farms or something like that is just like, yeah, dude, give me a gallon of milk. I'll straight up chug half of it.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now, I'll bet.
easy.
Dude, I had
Maybe
a
I'll throw
time
some cereal
in
in my mouth after. I don't know.
I had a time in middle school where it kind of became a tradition. Like every single day when I came home from school, I came home at the same time because I went to school and then we went to like the after school things. We hung out. We went home at the same time, and we have like 1 liter cartons of milk. Like I would just come home and grab that and go to my room and just drink that.
Yeah.
And look at me now. I've never broken a bone. So
See, I have broken bones, but that's because of my own fault. That's not because I don't drink milk. It's not because I'm not actually good with my body. It's just because I'm that dumb.
dude, I deserve to have broken several bones.
Yeah.
I think the excess amount of milk has saved me, though.
But
I've never broken a bone, and you know, I could say it's because I'm a wuss and I don't do scary things, but it's definitely just because I chug milk. So
I think it's the milk. Yeah.
it's the milk, bro.
all right, chat.
No,
Get your questions ready. We'll listen to the rest of these two real quick about this subject, and then your questions
Milk.
are up next, chat. Anna, what the
you
hell?
know, people,
Milk, dude.
people. Okay, honestly though, like I've seen some of those TikToks too, where people are like, "If you go around just nom 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 chugging milk, get away from me." And I'm just
Yum,
like,
yum,
what are you
yum.
talking about, dude? It's like, it's literally just water that's good for you with extra stuff like calcium and fats and stuff, man. Like, chill. It's good.
Thick water builds thick bodies. I'm just saying.
Hey, let's go. No, no, unless you're talking about actual thick water, because like, have you heard of
No,
thick
no,
water?
not that. Yeah,
No,
no.
thick water is disgusting. I know. Yeah, no, definitely not.
Heavy water. I'm pretty sure that's
Heavy
radioactive. But yeah, I mean, thick white water. Very good. Yeah.
All right. Well, we do have a question here
Solid.
from it's DJ. He says, "Was the hat memo planned for this, or this and the our podcast hoster forgot, or did you all plan wearing hats?"
Definitely not planned.
No,
I'd say the opposite.
Is terrible at everything.
Yeah, I'd say the opposite. I forgot we were doing it, and then I got reminded. I was like, maybe I should shower. But what if I don't?
Speaking of which, I think it's hilarious that Wes and I are wearing not only both black hats, but black shirts, and also have the same headphones on.
Oh shit! Wait, I have a pair of
wait,
those.
wait! I have a pair of those.
Switch.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah!
Come on.
Now we're the glass team, boys.
It's not going well. There we go. Round glasses.
There we go.
Oh hell yeah! Now we're talking. All right. Is there any specific question that you two wants to put towards me? Because I obviously want you guys to put something against me if you feel like it. One question each. Let's go.
Hmm.
Do you know what Twitch Prime is?
Yeah, Twitch Prime? It's actually Prime Gaming now. You can go to gaming.amazon.com, link your Twitch account and Amazon account. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to one creator absolutely free every single month. It doesn't have to be Phoenix if you don't want it to be, but it absolutely could. Watch this. I'm gonna check right now. We click the overlay, click the little sub thing, and if the subscribe free button is there, you can go ahead and click it. If you do have it, you can go ahead and hit that button and see if you can get a resub or a subscription for the first time absolutely free today. That gets you ad-free viewing as well as 5 tier 1 emotes on the PhoenixDK channel.
Nah, it's DevilPhoenixDK, but close enough.
So close.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Oh
shit! We can fix it.
Let's talk about that for a second. The man himself just popped the Twitch Prime. Oh yeah, 6 months, baby.
See how easy that was, chat.
You see, that's how you do it.
Yeah. Just click it.
Literally just click the subscribe button and see if you get the subscribe free button.
So,
DJ.
On a real note, does any of you two have a specific question that is based towards me that you have in your mind?
Tell us about the album.
The album? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I am gonna, as I said to my chat yesterday, I kept a long just chatting stream yesterday where I was telling about the plans for 2021 for me, and the album itself, the first is probably going to be more of the text of the lyrics of the actual songs are going to be a little bit more tough emotionally, but also like there's going to be happy emotional songs. So like the first one is going to be a very like feelings felt songs, I guess you can say, in both ways, good ways and bad ways, and medium in between, like feeling casual about it. Because that's what I like can get myself out to right now, right?
Yeah.
I had a lot easier to put myself into the place of writing a song about my past because that's things that stuck in here constantly, and it's easier for me to come up with a lyric for that.
Mhm.
Because of the amount of depression I've been through in my life, right? It's something that sticks in my mind for sure. But with me writing it down, I feel so much better. Like, you've no idea. Like, the song I wrote, ever since, I've been playing it almost every single day, either by myself or on stream because people enjoy listening to it. But it just makes me happy, to
Yeah.
like know that I can do what I do.
I
And
can see that.
the amount of bits, god damn, girl. But yeah, that's one thing. Like, it's gonna be the first album. Man, are you fucking serious? Ugh.
I mean,
Oh well.
if it doesn't get better, might as well just restart or whatever.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna like people are gonna be able to watch this on YouTube when I combine it and everything. So everything will be
Yeah.
saved on YouTube anyways. So if people still can't watch properly, then they'll be able to watch the whole thing on YouTube. But
Yeah.
West, what got you into try streaming in the start?
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, okay. Um, I mean, it depends on how you look at the question, I guess. If it's how did I get into Twitch specifically, or like streaming?
Streaming.
Well, yeah,
Is it him?
yeah,
Yeah, it's actually.
basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
yeah, I mean, basically, like long TLDR. That's, I guess, the explanation. But it was just one of those things. Like, I guess he made it look fun, you know. Because I don't know. I had an experience with Twitch. Where it's like, yeah, I watched like some big streamers, but it wasn't really my thing. It's like I wasn't really enjoying it. There wasn't really a community feel. And then I left, came back at some point for unexplained reason, and I found Cryo, which it just felt like a community all of a sudden. So like I started hanging out there, and then through that I met Zach, and well, I started watching him a lot, and I don't know, made it look fun.
Yeah.
So I was like, what worst case scenario? What's gonna like the worst thing that can happen if I try is that no one watches, and
Yeah.
who cares? Like I might as well. Like I'm playing games anyways. Might as well try.
Yeah. 100%.
That's always been my outlook on things. Is like, if you're playing a game anyway, especially in the beginning, you might as well stream. Like,
Yeah.
at a certain point, perhaps it's like, for me, where it's like kind of become a career, and I don't know, I'm kind of trying to change stuff up this year, like I said, but it had become kind of my mindset that like, people like watching Minecraft, so Minecraft is what I got to play.
Yeah.
Not have to play, but like if I'm gonna play something else, then I shouldn't stream.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be changing that up again this year and just see what happens.
100%.
But like, yeah, especially in the beginning, I feel like if you're playing a game, you might as well be streaming. You never know, you might find someone else that enjoys that game too, or it's a way that you can hang out with people while you're playing the game you want to play. Because like, not everyone has all the games you have. They can't play with you necessarily, or maybe you're playing a single player game or something. You just want someone to talk to while you do it. Like Twitch is a perfect way to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, guys, if there's anything else that you guys want doing this podcast, like you want to put out there, any last words that you want to tell the chat right now before we're gonna call it a podcast, so I can upload it to YouTube and everything. Is there anything specific that you guys want to let Twitch know, or like the people that are watching, or YouTube for that sake? Is there anything you guys want to let them know in 2021, for an example?
For 2021?
Yeah, like, is there any like I guess you can say advice you would give people in 2021.
Yeah, I got something, I guess.
Okay.
I would say in the new year, 2021, just focus on the positives. I think like a lot of people this year, for example, it's been so easy to focus on the negative. There's been so much stuff like in the news, and I mean, I think so many people in 2020, I think we all kind of forgot in some ways that like just how much kind of cruddy stuff happened. I mean, there's the pandemic, there's the Australian forest fires, there was a lot of people waking up to the realization of how important BLM is again. And like there's just so much stuff that happened in 2020, and I think in 2021 I think it's important because I think a lot of us in 2020 started to like really hone in on the negative aspects of life. I think it's important for 2021 to try and like take a deep breath and remember that there is still good in the world, and that there's still a lot of positive stuff that we can focus on. That's not to say that we should stop working on trying to improve what's negative, but that we shouldn't just only focus on the negative stuff, because I mean it's just so mentally taxing to only focus on the bad. So yeah, just remember to focus on the good stuff you have, whether that be like your family, your friends, the people you get to spend time with, the stuff that you got. Just whatever you can possibly find in your life that is positive. Yeah. Try to keep it in mind, and and don't take it for granted, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I like that. I think you're very right about it. Especially considering the amount of shit that went down with Corona, for example. Yeah. People just like immediately saw everything negatively.
Yeah, like along the same line, I guess. I think with everything going on, I don't know, I can get the feeling sometimes that people, they seem to be under the impression that they are, going through the worst possible thing ever, and it kind of ends up being this sort of, I don't necessarily mean it in a negative way, but it feels like it ends up being like a lot more self-pity than what's necessary, because I like, even though it might be hard to like see it, I mean everyone is going through the same thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, we get it. Of course it's hard if you have to be in lockdown or you can't do the things you like doing because you can't go outside. Like that, we get that, and it's okay to be sad about it, but everyone else is going through the same thing.
Get a hobby inside. Trust me, it'll help.
Just like, I don't know. It's not like